Oh, it's working. Apparently we're live. All right. Well, I see the little green bar. Seems like my voice is working. The video appears to be working. And tonight's live chat is brought to you by Susquehanna Valley Firearms, the best gun shop in the state of Pennsylvania. If you dig FUD stuff, probably not your shop. If you dig class 3 shit, it's your shop. Lots of cool stuff, cans and SBRs and SBSs and machine guns on the wall. Pretty cool shop. And I stopped in there today to get a quote on a can for a DMR type project I'm going to put together. And while I was there, they donated some stuff for the muster already. I don't know, they're probably going to do the big grand prize as well, but I can assure you that they're already giving me some stuff to put in the tote for the muster. Kyle, hello. Jason, hello. Adam, TJ, good to see you all. Wearing my cool U.S. Forces hat from 0241 Tactical. Sean Smothers over there in Montana. Cool cat. Hopefully see him this summer up at Dynamic Carbine in Kalispell. He did seem interested in hanging out. So that'd be all right. Let's see, where are we going with stuff? Big news today. My good friend Josh Prince. He is representing the Firearms Industry Consulting Group, I believe is the group. He's also Prince Law Firm. He is my personal attorney. He is an excellent litigator, one of the best arguers I know, and he completely beat the pants off of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He was one of the attorneys involved in I don't know the name of the suit, but there was during COVID, there was an emergency order issued by King Wolf, a state of emergency thing, and it was on, like, it was never ending, just kept getting automatic renewal. That law has since been changed that the governor can do a state of emergency, and it expires after X number of days unless the state house chooses to renew it. Will of the people and all that. Well, anyhow, this state of emergency, there were some certain caveats in that for people carrying firearms. And if you had a license to carry, you were fine. And if you didn't, you couldn't carry a firearm. The problem is that you could not get a license to carry if you were between 18 and 20 years old. You had to be 21 for a carry permit. So they went to court. And at the end of that, the emergency rule was found like unconstitutional. It went up to like the state Supreme Court, and then it was appealed to the Third Circuit Appellate Court. The Third Circuit issued a permanent injunction on enforcing the. There was a couple of points on it, but they went so far as to say, all stemming from this emergency rule, that 18 to 20-year-olds can apply for a carry permit. History, text, and tradition from the Bruin decision, et cetera, et cetera. 18-year-olds could always carry guns. And since I want to say 70s, when we had a carry permit system in place, that turned into only 21-year-olds and up. So that's been stricken. And if you live in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and you are 18 years old but not yet 21, you should run out to your sheriff's office and apply for a carry permit. Colt, Will, Javier, Scott Wexler, hello, hello. Let's see if I can do this. Copy, paste. There is a link in case anybody would like to read the article about Josh kicking the state's butt on gun rights. So that was the big news as of today. Pretty stoked about that, even though I'm certainly well over 21 years old and don't have to worry about that. And just carry a gun wherever the fuck I want anyway. But, you know, I got a son who's going to turn 17 a month from today. So a year and a month, he can go get a carry permit. Still can't buy a pistol, but he can carry one of mine. So works out pretty good. I usually gift a pistol to all of my children on their high school graduation. Gift them a rifle on their 18th birthday. So, yeah, you know, I have to do that a little earlier. Scott, good idea. You need to get out of Michigan. There ain't enough Michiganders outside of the urban areas to stem the tide. Pennsylvania is only a few years behind you, I think. So that was that big announcement. I thought was pretty cool. See what we got going on. I finally got some magazines for my micro dagger, the 15 rounder PSA mags, and the micro dagger is together and seems to function like from a dry fire perspective. So tomorrow I'm going to go shoot it some. I'm also going to go shoot this cat over here, which is the Iron Pig armament rifle that they sent. There is currently a Hollow Sun 515 CM, I think, 512. I have a video on it. On the top of it, we're going to zero that. I'll put some pictures of that on the Instagrams and whatnot on the socials, just of the zeroing. We'll get some regular old, like, you know, blasty footage of, you know, montage shit for later. Oh, Terrell, hello, sir. I was just kind of talking about you. Colt asked me if I'm looking to adopt. Dude, you're already past high school graduation and 18. Well, at least past the 18. I don't know if you actually graduated high school. That's kind of sketchy. Anywho, I'm going to the range. I'll shoot the micro dagger and I have great luck with micro dagger magazines and Glock 48s, 43Xs, and 43s. But I finally decided to get a 48 of my own in the micro dagger, and then didn't own any magazines for it. So I didn't borrow any from any of my friends with them to have 48s. So I just had to wait for them to get in stock. Came today, and we'll be doing some test firing tomorrow. Turtle enjoyed our coffee conversation. Turtle, John Ammons, and I had a great signal chat, and it came across coffee. Turtle's at work. He's supposed to be doing something important, but he's apparently not blocked on Facebook from the work computer. RJ, hello, sir. I hope everything is going awesome up in the New York area. Unless those posts were a couple days old and they were over the weekend. So in which case, I didn't really look to see the date. I just saw you're up there with Jared Reston, who comes super highly recommended from people that I trust. So hopefully you can add or subtract, whatever, your input on that as well. Right on, Colt. I think most of my education came from myself, but you can't argue that. If I were stuck with 10 round magazines, not sure how that would, I would just do whatever I want. But if I was, I would consider a Glock 48 or probably a 365 XL and just get the neutered magazines from 12 to 10. RJ, good to hear that. Brian Anton, hello, sir, out there on the left coast. Wanted to say, we're talking about this rifle back here, that getting it all set up, I'm going to put my combat art training sling on it. I'm going to try something different over on the signature rifle for a minute or two. That is on order, so it's currently slingless. As I took the sling off, I just haven't installed it on the other one yet. But I'm also going to put on a flashlight, and I'm looking around like what I got, and all my Z bolts are on, we'll call them work guns. They're not really for work. They're serious business guns. My work guns have scout lights on them. Like I keep moving them down. So like if that's a gun I teach with, it got bumped down to a scout light as I put the Z bolts on the, save myself rifles. And then random other lights I got floating around of various. I snagged this stream light. I know, Brian, you don't like them. What is this? The Pro Tac fucking something X. It's tiny. And I'm looking directly into a fucking light. So HLX. I prefer the HL, not the X in the stream lights, because the bezel's smaller and it can sit tighter. And it's on this, I think it's like a Haley style mount, whoever makes those for him. Anyhow, I go to put batteries in it, and like you can hear the dry rubber O-ring, which isn't good for the O-ring, and it's not good for sealing. So I was like, all right, I need to lubricate that. And normally you can use a drop of most oils. There are some oils that do not react well to certain types of O-rings. Depends what the O-ring's made out of. Streamlight uses these orange ones, so I don't know what that is. Like the black ones are like butyl, and anyhow, irrelevant. What I opted to go with was something that Shinde over at 5 Rivers Armament showed me 2 weeks ago. It's called Niogel 760G. It is I believe, dielectric synthetic grease. Is good on the O-rings so that it freshens those up and they seal better. But it also makes sure that like the threads on your tail cap to your body or your head to your body are getting a solid electrical connection. What we have found was people who are getting the traditional Surefire flicker when running a remote tail cap, or a tape switch into their tail caps. If you take the tail cap off, slather some grease on it, put some grease on your crane plug or the Surefire plug, stuff that thing back in there, the flicker either goes away or is minimized. Same with power loss across flashlights. So I bought a tube of it and decided I would jazz up the light before I mounted it, which is the reason the light's in my hand, because I literally did it like 2 seconds ago. And I'll show you all a picture what it looks like. And this is the stuff right here. Maybe. There it is. Niogel 760G. Oh, speaking of Shinde, there he is in the chats. Will's loving a Z-bolt head. Of course you are. My old default, Austin mentions there's some plumbing stuff that's good for O-rings, was paintball grease, Dow, don't quote me, 60 something maybe, because they have a lot of static and dynamic O-rings, and they have figured out the best greases for those. But the dielectric versions help with the electrical aspect as well. So that's why I went with the Niogel. So RJ, it says EDC on it because I bought it from a company called EDC Plus. I think they get it bottled for themselves, like, or tubed or whatever. When Shinde showed it to me, it was like in a little like lip gloss thing, like you turn the tip off and put your finger in it and smear it around. And when I Googled it, this EDC Plus company came up, and that's why it says EDC. Actually, it says EDC Plus on the, like there are 4 little blocks, and the last one says Plus. That's the name of the company. I don't know anything about them. Other than the price was fine, they came up top on the Google search and they shipped the same day I paid them. So they're, that's the best recommendation I guess I can give because it's as much as I know. But I'm going to do like every light that I do, like when next time I replace batteries, I'm going to take both ends of the light off, if both ends come off, and put a dab on all the threads and O-rings and screw it back together. Like this Streamlight ProTech something. I don't remember what it's called because it's got a Combat Art bungee duber thing on it, and it covers up the print. 2L maybe, 2 something. It's a 2-cell handheld, but that'll be next. It's not even my carry light, but any of the lights I got, they're going to get nio-gelled next time I change batteries. I also plan on somewhere in this building is some empty little syringe tubes that the metal part is like a really big bore and it's flat instead of like angled to inject yourself with. And I keep them full of ALG very thin grease, which is a quad zero grease. I have some extras somewhere, and as soon as I find one, I'm going to put some of that nio-gel in it and put it in my Combat Art training battery book, so that when I'm changing batteries somewhere not here at the house where I just have a tote full of batteries, that's my portable, battery supply. I can touch up the O-rings and threads on everything out in the field, so to speak, as well. Zach Bush, hello, sir. Jeff Ray, hello. Will asks if I've run the Arisaka caps, Raska, whatever, some Japanese word, for the Streamlight to use the Surefire plugs, and I have not, only because my Streamlights have moved far enough down the list that, like, the one time I thought about doing it for my son's gun, because I gave him one of my Streamlights, they were out of stock. So I was just like, oh, I'll look at it later, and never got back to it because it was like $30. Adam, they are not the ones from Occam. The Occam ones that have the little black plastic thing that is the plunger piece, like the shaft for the plunger. They're great for portability, but I got regular ones with a solid shaft because it's a little easier to assemble and operate. It's just not as small. So I figure in some places, easier, even though it's bigger, is better. And then, like in my assault pack, I have a thing of Occam. One of the Occam ones. It's not Occam lube because I still fill it with ALG very thin grease. But I have that in my assault pack because I'm trying to save space in there. My range bag has an Occam one in it. My little pack of Fix-It sticks has an Occam one in it. I think all the ones around the house here have the big full-size one. But I figure you all would like to know that, especially if you're running tape switches and you're getting power loss, or if you have the Surefire flicker. That shit might be the bee's knees for you, not the beeswax, although that's kind of similar. Let's see what else we got going on my notes over here. Coming up this weekend, Bug the Fuck Out number 20. So it is the 21st bug out that has been either a class or study group type thing, not just like a haphazard going to go test some gear, but kind of organized. That's 20 as Tremis Dynamics and once at Tactical Response. It is the final one. I'm tired of walking up that fucking goat path, so I don't intend to do it anymore after this weekend. And I think everybody that had an inkling to actually do one of the bug outs in the last 9 years has got them done. So rather than organize a miserable trip up the goat path once or twice a year, we're just ending it at 20. Rich, hello, sir. You a U.S. resident yet? Come on, get with the program. So yes, the very last Bug the Fuck Out is happening in a mere 3 days. And we're going to have a big, huge announcement, Tremis Dynamics announcement. It ain't going to be that big. It ain't going to be that huge. But there'll probably be a few folks that say, oh, that's really cool and I good. And there might be some that say, oh, I'm not a fan and that sucks. But I'm going to announce it around the fire. Usually every fall bug out, we do something about like, hey, this is what's going on next year. And that they're the first people that find out. That's the reward for walking up the goat path. But since we're not doing one in the fall, we're gonna do this one in the spring. We'll have a big company announcement there. And maybe you guys will hear about it on the live chat next week. Maybe not, might be a week later. Patrons might find out about it early. Then the week after is the only Pennsylvania masterclass. It's kind of like you did well in day 3 pistol, you did well in day 3 carbine. You've had a lot of training, and what's left in a one day format. It's a day class and a night class. So like you could get more involved, like an immersive class, but if you wanted to, like, what's the next thing to do where I don't have to take a week off of work? This is it. And the warm up is kind of styled after the traditional master class, like where you get Steven Spielberg to teach you how to make movies or, that kind of thing. Stevie Ray Vaughan teach you how to play guitar, whatever. Obviously not Stevie Ray Vaughan, but you get the idea. It is how do I practice? If I like the drills that we do in dynamic pistol, dynamic carbine, at day 3s and all those, like if I do those really well and I don't like I shoot them clean and the times are great, the movement's great, like how can I make it more difficult to challenge myself? That's our warm-up. And then we kind of end up sometime in the middle of the night when the class ends. We are doing team drills that are much more offensive in nature than defensive in nature, pressing the fight as opposed to surviving the fight. So that is kind of the point of the master class. And I did it last year in Texas because we had a range we could shoot all night long in. And I scheduled it here in PA at the Ben Franklin range, which is down the Pittsburgh-ish corner of the state. And it's ultra expensive. Like I am paying 4 days worth of range fees to use the class from 2 in the afternoon until 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's it's not the cheapest. It's 4 hours from my house, so it's not, it's overnight for me as well. So it's essentially a travel class that is short and expensive. So I don't know if I'm definitely not going back there this year. Probably not next year, although I never say never. But the other range that we have where we can shoot all night long isn't big enough to do all the rifle stuff that we do in the master class. So if you want the master class and you don't live in Texas, this is likely your only chance to get it. Certainly in a 24-month window, from the one I did in Texas until the next time I may do one, that it'll be it. Interestingly enough, if you buy the workshop package that includes all 15 workshops, well, now it's down to like 12 workshops or 13. Some of them are over. It does include the master class. So, and there's still one of those left. One workshop package where you sign up for all the workshops and the cost of one class, and then you can come to the master class too. Oh, interesting. I have 2 screens running, and I have my little viewfinder screen like right here, seeing if I'm framed well and whatnot. And it shows the newest chat at the top, And over on my laptop, I have just a window with just the chat in it, and it shows the newest chats at the bottom. So like when I look back and forth, like they're not lining up. Anywho, so that's what's going on here. And then after that, I think we got Fish 6 coming up, which is night vision fishing. So we'll be back up at Roll Call in Scranton, and we'll be running the shoot house under Nods. That's happening. And I think then up to Memorial Day weekend, we have 3 workshops that weekend. Saturday, we have shooting a moving pistol. Saturday night, we have low light pistol, which is white lights. And Sunday night, because it's a holiday weekend, so a lot of people have off Monday, we are doing low light rifle. So we have, that takes us up into like June, I believe. So that's currently what's on the schedule. Well, Adam, you can come up and take Fish 6. You can even stay at my house if you want. We just did Fish 3, not like 2 days ago, but the weekend before that, we did Fish 5 and Fish 3. Fish 5 is live fire. You may have seen some pictures of the room that we built on the range. And Fish 3 was our white light rifle, white light fish class. And then Fish 6 is obviously the night vision. Brian, I'm running a single white phos unfilmed PBS 14. And I probably, like I keep saying, oh yeah, I need one for the other eye. But I would probably run something where I could stow the right one and just run a left. Because I found a lot of advantages to only running one. And the advantages of running 2 isn't a wider field of view. So actually, I would be more tempted. I think it would be cooler to run a 1-eye panoramic than it would be to run 2 singles. But I've only ever had panos on my head, and it was all 4. So I don't know what it'd be like to just run 1, but I got a pretty good inkling of what that would be like. And I think I would dig that. And I am a big fan of, I'm a right shoulder shooter by default and wearing a left eye monocular. And somebody somewhere is going to be like, that ain't the way to do it because we've always done it this other way. Fine. Catching up on the chats here. Will says he's not in the tax bracket for panos. I'm not even in the tax bracket for duals. Probably not in the right tax bracket for singles. But I got a sugar mama, so she probably rolled her eyes right now. She's not watching this, but she just rolled her eyes because she knows she's supposed to. What else we got going on in the dark? Since we got a nod fishing, a 2 white light workshops. We have a nods workshop in June. It's like near the beginning. Let me look. The 8th nods workshop. It's all carbine stuff. And then I think the next thing we have after that, it's like open availability, is a dark study group way out in September. There are some other dark things happening before then, in between there, that are invite only. You have to have been vetted by me. Nobody can vouch for you. Also, I'm looking at adding, I got to find a free weekend, and I think we're going to do a 3-stage dark match. So it will be, I'm going to design 3. We only have 1 bay, but I'll design 3 stages that we can easily move things to the next setup. Limit the number of people that come, and there'll be 2 divisions, a white light division or a night vision division, and we'll use the Dwarven target template scoring system. And I don't care if you shoot rifles or pistols or pistol caliber carbines or rimfires, the scoring system for the target. Of course, I don't even have one of the minis floating around. I have one way over there. But I think the way that it is a brain shot with any caliber, you neutralize the target. One rifle hit in the heart will neutralize it, or 2 pistol or rimfire hits will neutralize it. 2 rifles in the vital region, or 5 pistol or rimfires will neutralize it, or 5 rifles in the whole cardboard will neutralize it. And every target that isn't neutralized adds 60 seconds to your time. And let's see what else. Every shot has to be taken from cover or while moving. If you don't follow that, your time is multiplied by 1.5. If you don't hit a target at all in any caliber, your time is multiplied by 1.5. And an extra 0.5 for every target you don't hit. What else is, if you hit a no shoot, it's multiplied by 1.5. If you are shooting the nods division and you have a white light ND, you get moved to the white light division. And if you have a light ND at your vehicle, a light or audible ND, so if your horn or dome lights or headlights or brake lights or whatever come on during the match, your entire match's time is multiplied by 2. So that's all the penalties in the whole scoring system. And I don't care what you shoot it with. So like if your rifle has a malfunction, you go to a pistol, just be aware, like if you're not doing brain shots, you need to shoot them some more. It's that simple. And we're just doing raw time plus penalties. That's it. Pretty simple. And then we'll tape everything up and do the next guy and do that through everyone. It doesn't matter what division you're shooting. It's noted on your thing. So it would be mixing between white lights and nods and whatever. And I think it should be good. We don't get enough night shit. And if you have been to a class with me, either alongside me or one that I was teaching and it was in the dark, we will run you through no problems. If you're a new to us, what we would call rando, you get to wear a glow stick for the whole match so that we know where you're at. Sorry. I don't know you well enough to not have to keep tabs on you. Maybe we'll do like IR glow sticks for the vetted folks, and normies get a visible glow stick. Eli, hello, sir. Yeah, so we'll do our little bit of cool guy gun golf. I'm going down through my notes. Start getting some muster planning underway. Nothing really to announce, but know that we're working behind the scenes to get stuff taken care of. Will the Mark V holster for Glock 48 work for a 43X? Yes, it will just be this much longer. So both the Mark V and the Trempendix work fine with a 43X, and they work fine with a 43. I will say this: it is the holsters they make are for the MOS, so it's the one with the flashlight rail on it. I don't even know anybody with one of the older ones that doesn't have the rail, so I can't tell you if there's any slop, but it should still hold fine because it holds around the front of the trigger guard, not the rail. So it should slide in there, although it may have a little bit of wiggle to it. I'm not positive, but it will be secure because it, like when you red gun, when you put it in, it's clamping here, not up there. So it should still clamp it and hold it from coming out. But depending how not snug it is, because there's no rail filling it up, I don't know if it'll have some, like a degree of in the holster. I'm grossly exaggerating it. Nor can I test it because I just don't know anybody that has one. I have a Mark V downstairs that I have my micro dagger in, and it fits in, it holds snug, but it doesn't go when it gets the whole way in, like when it snaps around the trigger guard. So the folks at Palmetto assured me at SHOT Show that the micro dagger fits Glock 48 holsters, and you don't need its own holster like you do with the dagger compacts. Not saying I'm sold on that. It definitely holds it. Like you can turn upside down and shake it and nothing, the gun doesn't come out, but it doesn't have the same snick when it clicks into place. So I'll try it with some other brands as well, but the only Glock 48 holster I have is a single Mark V Tremis Signature Series. I don't even have an appendix one handy, so we'll see how the micro dagger handles. Sonny, hello, sir. Good to see you. Or hear from you. See from you? Whatever. Sonny, I need to get you on one of these in the next few weeks so we can pimp out the science of dynamic violence. We can squeeze a couple more people in. And people want guests. And you're my first choice for a guest because the conversations are always so good. Yes, good. So we need to make that happen. I need to make a list. I have a list in my head. I need to make a list and get some pretty good guests in place. Maybe, probably not. We'll see. The week that we do the science of dynamic violence, we will be hopefully done with class and back here before the normal Wednesday night live chat. Andrew and Jay will be here, and they'll probably be sleeping in this room. So if we can move the cots and stuff, maybe we can do a 4-person live chat that Wednesday. That would be pretty slick. Or not. But we should certainly get everyone that's coming to the muster as a guest on the live chat between now and then. And that since there's only one a week, I should probably get on that shit sooner rather than later. And I have a couple of people who aren't presenting at the muster that I'd also like to have as guests. So, damn, I need to get on that. Perfect, Sonny. You are not next week. Mike Fiore forgot that it was the live chat tonight. Better late than never, my friend. I could make Mike my guest next week, but Mike's been a guest a bunch of times, so he's kind of the default guest when I'm running out of ideas. Or we can put him on as a dual guest and have 3 people on the screen at once. I just got to figure out who's going to be next week. I need to get on the horn with some folks. Had a surprise guest last week. Go back and check that out if you like. He will be on again because we actually have a much better debate planned than the one from last week, which was, I like the Glock 19 better than a 48. And my stance was, I like the Glock 48 better than the Glock 19. It's a shitty debate because both sides said, you know, I like mine better, and the other one's really, really good, and you should own one. Like, it's not, it was a shit debate to begin with. It was just a matter of which one do you like better, and I was like, bleh. But the next debate, we actually got some good meat to that one. All right, Sonny, next Wednesday, that's 8 p.m. Eastern, so it should be like 7 p.m. your time. Does that work for you? And I'll get the link all sorted out and sent to you ahead of time so that you can get all logged in and whatnot. And it's also, when I send you the link, you have the option of using that link and sharing it to your stuff as well. So if you'd like it to be live on your channel, like simulcast, it's all set up to do that. So we can do that. You can, because I'm going to have it on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. I forgot to do Instagram this week because you have to do that like right at the last minute. You got to get a key. You can't set it up like days ahead of time. But then you can add it to like 2 or 3 things too. So awesome. And if you can only, you know, if you're not done by 7 and you're there at 7:15, 7:30, fuck it. You can come in when you come in, and I'll hold the fort down in the meantime. Dude, somebody hated your CQB video? How could, like, I didn't see anything to hate. I even saw like this swath of AR2 move across the screen, and then Jay walked by, and I was like, oh, look at all this. It's awesome. That was me. Don't worry. Your phone's not vibrating. Normally when my phone vibrates during a live chat, it's Mike calling me. This time it's not. Wasn't irrelevant to tonight's live chat. Oh shit, what did I do? I broke my phone. So anywho, Mike getting hate on a CQB video. Can you it's on, did you put it, is it on the YouTubes too, or is it just on the Facebooks? Either way, I'm gonna go look at it. Not at the moment. If I was really crafty and good tech wise, I can bring it up and play it on screen for everyone. But boy, would I fuck that up. Oh, somebody just bought something. Don't know what. A low light workshop. Wow, this live chat fucking works. I talk about the low light workshops and somebody signed up for it. I'm like a marketing genius. I do got some questions tonight, so we'll go over that. Oh, right on, right on. Wasn't he already gonna be here for that? Okay. Anyhow, questions I had were, when unloading a pistol, do I prefer to pull out the mag first or lock the slide to the rear first? So this is an inert gun. It does not shoot. The barrel is solid. It's just solid metal. It will chamber a dummy round. There's no firing pin. There's no hole for the firing pin. If there were, you put a firing pin, a striker with an end on it. But so the question is, if we're going to unload this, what's the preferred method? Well, my preferred method is to press the volume control until it ends up like this, and then I press the button and the magazine comes out. I have a hunch that the way the question was asked was more meant along the lines of, what if this has bullets in it, this has bullets in it, and we want to, say, take it apart to put new excess big dots on the front and the back, and we got to put it in the sight presser, and like you got to take it apart and take the bullets out first. So I am a big fan of press the button and then run the doober louver and then take the slide off. When I run the Doobler Hoobler, I will do a 3-point check. I like look through the mag well. I'm like, yeah, there ain't no magazine and bullets in there. There ain't a round on the breech face. There isn't one in the chamber. I'm like, yeah, I can now do the rest of all the stuff. Which, on some guns might involve a trigger press. So that's why we do the look-sees in 3 directions, so we don't get a hole in the house somewhere. So yes, I prefer to pull a mag out and then run the slide. It's almost like a reload. I can take care of the magazine and then take care of the top half, like in that order. Next, I got go over here. Oh, I finally saw Mike's comments. I closed them so I could look at the questions, or close the big chat. So it's on Insta and YouTube. All right, I'm going to go give comments on that when we're done with the live chat. So next question is front sight focus versus target focus with irons. Which do I prefer, and when would you choose one over the other? So I was always a big fan of front sight focus. However, I think, I don't know if it was a natural evolution to more of a target focus. But when running and gunning type stuff, I end up doing a lot of doing a lot of unconscious target focus. And when I need a precise shot, I go back to front sight focus. Also, something we cover in shooting and moving with the pistol. It is semi-relevant to a carbine as well, but there are bigger things to do with a carbine. But something I noticed with shooting while your feet are in motion with a pistol, when you do front sight focus, the pistol moves less. And that is because when consciously you say, I need to see the front sight better, like I need to see where the bluing is worn off of the edges or the crack in the little white dot in my 3-dot sights, or the cat hair that's stuck to it, whatever. Like when you're that focused on the sight, your subconscious mind makes your hands move less. So if you're trying to get the gun to move less and you switch to a front sight focus, even if you're looking through a dot, if you track the muzzle movement and do so with an IR laser attached to your pistol, you will, and like record your results on a piece of graph paper, you will see a significant amount of movement decrease by switching to front sight focus. It's no different than anytime you want to do something that you focus on with your hands. When you look at it and go, oh, I got to hold that still so I can do something, I got to see it better, your hands will naturally stabilize it better. So you can tap into the power of your unconscious mind by trying to see something that it's trying to hold still. And that will hold your gun more still than if you consciously try to hold your gun still. I don't think there is a single person who has studied it all, and it even minutely on how the mind works, that says the conscious mind is more powerful at moving your body in any sort of micro or macro movements than the subconscious mind is. So there is that. But mostly, even though I'm shooting and moving, I found a way to make the gun vibrate less. I still do target focus. All right, let me go back and open that chat. All right, a bunch of people saying mag first. And then the last question was, can we try some longer range pistol shooting sometime? I'd like some data on range versus carry ammo out to 100 if possible. Don't know the holds past 50. We can, it's just a matter of where we're going to do it. So at the normal range in Sugarloaf, it's like 50 by 50. But if we go out onto that right side, we can get out to 100. We just have to, we can't just keep walking back though. Out in between the cars, you can get up to about 85. But, and then over at the dark range, you have to go out to the cars to get up to past 50, like up that little hill into where we park. However, like over at my local gun club where we don't do any classes, we can go to 300. So, and over down on the one rifle range, it goes out to 100. They got stuff set up, you know, at 10, 50, 75, and 100. So that would be the easiest place to go do it. It just wouldn't be at a class. So TJ, sometime when you're up here, you know, if it's something on the weekend and you come up early enough on like a Friday, we can go over there and just do, you know, I think every member is allowed to take 2 guests. So Jen, Ben, and I are members, so we could take like a handful of people out, but we could go over there and shoot out to 100. We could shoot out 300 if you want. I don't know what a 9mm hold is at 300, so don't ask. But yeah, we can go do that. Next class that we got coming up are the workshops over at the dark range, so we won't get too far out there. Next live fire in Sugarloaf. I don't remember when it is. I want to say it's a cover clinic rifle thing, but we can, you know, at lunch or whatever, go shoot some pistols. And since you bought the workshop package, that includes the cover clinics. So we're already paid for it. So whatever works for you. And we'll use steel so that we can get, well, what we can do is we can put a steel beside a cardboard, like out at the same distance. Like when you want to, like, say you're 75. So the steel can give you gross, hey, I can at least hit the big ass target from this distance with this hold, and then move over to the cardboard to see, so you can actually get measurements. Instead of shooting at, like, you know, 150 yards or whatever, and you're not even hitting the cardboard, you won't know if you're hitting high, low, and you'll have to walk out after every shot to see. So we can do a steel beside, you know, steel and a cardboard. So the steel, you can, like, I hold this high and don't hit. I hold this high and don't hit. I hold this high and don't hit. Oh, up there is where I hit. And then move over to the cardboard and actually see what the measurement is for that drop. That'd be the way I would do it. So hopefully that answered all the questions. Nobody else posted any. I will hit refresh. Yes, there are no additional questions. So I will get before next week, I will get a link set up for the Sonny Gary combo, and you all have an opportunity to post questions up. There was a cat at the local gun shop. I was in there yesterday and dropping off a pile of holsters to them. They're Susquehanna Valley Farms is a stocking first wave holsters dealer. And there was a dude in there who like his overriding like want is to come to the muster because Sonny's going to be there. So maybe, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. So if you're watching, I apologize because I'm so bad with names. But maybe we can get him to get on here and like fangirl out, like, oh my God, it's Sonny. I mean, I do that too, so it's all right. But yeah, that'll be next week. Sonny will be the guest, and we'll do that then. We'll talk about the science of dynamic violence. Maybe give out some pointers or hints, about it. And yeah, that's that. I got nothing else for this week. Well, you guys got anything over there? You tell me, and we'll take care of those before I pop out of here, because my Diet Coke is just about empty. So I know there's like a 30-second delay, so I'll just hold tight for a minute, see if anybody types something up, and if they don't, I'm going to get out of here. I will turn off this microphone and these stupid lights, and I'll go hang out with my dog. Well, and then I'm going to get on my phone and go over to Mike's CQB video and talk at what he called the smooth brains. Mike wants to get his hands on that Iron Pig gun. Well, it'll be at the master class, so I'm not bringing it to the bug out. It should be a non-shooting event. So yeah, it'll have a zeroed holosun on it, and a combat art sling, and a somewhere around here is a Streamlight weapon light. It'll all be set up and ready to go. I'm going to zero it tomorrow. So we'll start collecting some data on it and see how it goes. So with that, I guess we got all the questions and shit out of the way. Yes, the rifle thing on the bug out. I like shit that Everly Stock makes, but the gunslinger backpacks aren't those things. So anyhow, I'm out of here. I will see you all in a week. I will bring Sonny with me. Maybe we'll get Mike to come in and we'll do a 3-person chat. Mike is usually pretty good at pushing the chat along somewhere. We'll see if he's interested. If he's not, that's fine too. Sonny will hopefully be done with his whatever thing that he has to do. It was something liturgies. I don't know how it's pronounced. So, but he's doing that, but it'll be done by 7. So anyhow, that's what we're looking forward to next week. I will see you all later. Take it easy.